That's a funky intro, okay.
Great intro.
Welcome to Little Bretty's Kitchen. I'm your host, Brett Halling, and today on the show, I have my boss and also the CEO of the Parent New Project Geelong, Kane Nuttall. Welcome to Little Bretty's Kitchen.
Thanks for having me, bro.
How fun is that button? It's my favourite button.
The crowd goes wild, mate.
Well, look, I've introduced this show as something that's going to have a lot of mental health themes and conversations around mental health support. And I thought, what a better way to introduce that topic than have the CEO of a support organisation.
CEO sounds a bit formal, doesn't it?
Does. Something that you're very happy with, though. You like the title of CEO?
I'm a little bit proud. Yeah. Better than a labourer.
Firstly, can you explain what the Parent New Project is and sort of what it does?
Yeah, so the Power and New project, it came about off the back of my own challenges. I was an ice addict for the best part of 12 years. I tried to get help many a time and sort of just got handballed here, handballed there. And I was a firm believer of, if you've built up the courage to ask for help, like you've only got that little bit of a window to get help. And I just thought, being able to come out of the other side of it, I thought I had something to offer. So, I come up with the Power and You project just as strictly as a drug and alcohol support service. So one day we sort of focused on our emotional foundation sort of stuff, relationships and boundaries, self-worth, stress and resilience, topics like that, just to try to get back to basics and build some skills and things that you tend to lose when you are going through those challenges, things that you probably know, but, at the time when you are struggling seem so far away. And then I thought the other part of it is being active as well. So on the other day we did a PT session just to let out some natural endorphins and, just feel good in other ways, without having to take substance or, or looking for, synthetic things to make us feel good. Yeah. And then the third part of it was connection. And that's pretty much why I do it. I know what it's like to be lonely, and I know a lot of people would prefer to be in a room full of 10 people high as a kite than be alone. So, healthy connections was the other part on the Friday, and just getting out and about and feeling comfortable back into the community.
So like part of the healthy connections is when people are in that state where they're using and they're doing a lot of drugs and they're in a bad place, those healthy connections are few and far between, because in that environment there's a lot of people using one another for certain things. So
exactly, mate.
You were seeing the benefit in healthy connections.
Yeah, just striking something positive. You become the average of the 5 people you're spending the most time around. So if you're in a room where everybody's doing all sorts of stuff, there's a fair chance you're going to be doing that kind of thing as well. So it's just creating different opportunity for people to be able to step outside what their norm is at that time and, and look at something different. So, going on nature walks to the Yangs, heading down the coast, barbecues, things that are just normal, which...
Much more healthy lifestyle, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's
why I'm so healthy at the moment, man, because of the Parent New Project.
And you're looking $1 million. I know, it's these, like I said, the PT
sessions, boxing, gym, walks, mindfulness, cooking.
That's right, and it's a holistic approach, and I think that's why, when we are trying to get better, there's no point trying to fix one thing without the other, because it takes a whole range of things to help you back on your journey. And all we try to do is give the person a platform to be able to become the best version of themselves. And
so explain what, from a functional perspective, what the Parent New Project is and what it does, so people can understand what we do from a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, so we have 3 entry points now, which is amazing. We started as a drug and alcohol service, then sort of rolled into mental health, just because there's so many people that have got co-occurring challenges. And then, the offset of that was the people, who are in prison that are coming out with mental health and drug and alcohol challenges have found a great fit within our service, because we have you know, some lived experience and some sort of skills that we've learned from the street, and being able to deal with people in a different way than just, you know, sort of going through your study, you know, and coming out the other side. It's, you know, it's real connection, and, you know, I deliver the program from the street, but we've got a psychological, you know, background and research, and everything that we do back of house, you know, is all researched and tested and proven. But we deliver it from a street, you know, a street perspective. So
it's a very relatable service. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I think clinical.
Nah, that's right. And I think, you know, we want people to laugh. You know, our lives, you know, especially in that lifestyle, your life becomes so serious.
Yes.
You know, you become somebody you're not. You know, rolling around thinking you're a gangster.
Hey, you don't have to tell me how important laughter is, Kane.
Oh, exactly, bro. And you know, and now I can look at myself and what I was doing back then and actually laugh at it. But at the time, I thought I was an absolute legend. But looking back at it now, I just think to myself, oh my God, what was I thinking? You know, and you know, I completely lost myself. I didn't know who I was, and you know, and if you don't know who you are, you start to become, you know, like a chameleon. You just start to become a part of the environment that you're around, and, you know, and that's where you completely lose yourself. So it's really important to work out what's important to you, who's important to you, and, you know, and start building a life who you are. And, you know, if you're a leader within your own life, you know, the right people will be around you at the right time. And it takes a fair bit of that, and it takes a fair bit of loneliness to get to that, because, you know, you need to push away all the negative individuals in your life, and it's hard because being isolated is a really, really dark and lonely place, but it's only temporary. And that's what I say to the guys: everything's only temporary. Your position doesn't have to be the same in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, providing you're willing to put in as much effort to getting better as you have to getting high. And if you put that kind of energy into doing the right thing, you know, you'll be really surprised how quickly things can turn around. And
speaking of effort though, right, it's called the Power in You project, and something that I think is very important when people are going to improve their situation and begin to put themselves on the right track is the effort within themselves. And for someone who has turned their life around and found that positive track, what were the things, like, how did you start to make that effort, and what were the things inside your mind that started helping you make that effort forward?
To be honest, mate, I was in a really, really, really dark place. I was completely lonely. I'd had, you know, multiple suicide attempts. I, you know, had a family who loved me and cared about me and told me what, you know, that I had so much to offer, but I just couldn't find a way out of it, you know. And if you get called a junkie or a scumbag, or, you know, all these names associated with being a drug addict, you tend to believe that's who you are, you know, and it's easier to be that person than try to be something else. So, you know, I had to come back to mum and dad's place and sort of tell them and explain to them everything that was going on in my life. And there's a lot of things that I'm not proud of. There's a lot of bridges that I still am looking to build, but you know, I just knew that I had to start to get better. You know, and I've never been an idiot. You know, I've always believed that I've had something to offer, but unfortunately I was offering the wrong things to the wrong people for such a long amount of time, that I didn't think that I could be anything else. So, you know, I moved back to mum and dad's place. You know, again, I was lucky enough to have parents that would take me back after everything that I'd put them through. And, you know, it was just one day after another. I just sort of just chipped away at it. I actually started studying. I got into a course like a month after I'd already studied. I had a lovely lady who signed me up. And
so hang on. As you moved back in with your parents and you started studying. So in terms of like turning your mentality around and starting to find that path that fit you, like, were you studying something you were passionate about, or were you just trying to establish a routine? Like, what were the sort of fundamentals that you were looking for?
Well, I think being a drug addict and knowing what that world was like, I thought that I had something to offer. And I actually met a lady who is still a friend of mine today, and her name's Steph, and she taught me about the laws of attraction and, you know, changing the way that I see things, changing the way that I see myself, you know, and, you know, now my favorite saying is, your vibe attracts your tribe. So
Yeah, you do say that. I like that one too, actually.
and it's my favorite, and I'll
Yeah.
continue to say it because it's true. If I was still thinking negative, those negative things would still be happening in my life. And as much as I didn't feel that I deserved to be anything, but the old fake it till you make it, but I firmly believe that I had something to offer coming out the other side of 12 years worth of addiction. And I don't know. I just believed in myself, and I woke up every day, as hard as it was to look at myself in the mirror, and said, today's another day. I've just got to get through this, this day and this week and this month, and I really stuck to my guns. I was lucky that I had
started small, like just day by day.
Day by day, yeah. I had my dog, who I've had since she was 6 weeks old, and we'd slept in the car. There was months and months where we were sleeping in the car together, just her and I, because I was too ashamed to go home, and no one else would have me because I was a drug addict, and I'd burn all my bridges, and I was in a really, really dark place. But yeah, it just takes persistence. It just takes showing up every day, and fronting up and having a go. And don't get me wrong, there's times where I thought, far out, this is way too hard. It would be much easier being a drug addict. But I was starting to see glimpses of happiness, and
Tell me more about that. Like, what, as someone, you're coming out of bad times and you're starting to catch glimpses of happiness or like hope. So what did they look like to you?
It was an opportunity, just by chance. I had some landscapers working next to mum and dad's place that I started telling my story to, and and the guy, he had no idea about drugs and alcohol, and he started asking some questions, and then he started doing some research back of house. And I was a landscaper, back in the day. So yeah, I said, can I have a chance? And yeah, he gave me 1 day a week, and then I started to meet some good people, and being able to laugh and be able to share my story and be able to share it with, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's who I was, and it's where I've been, and being able to share it and create hope through sharing that. I put myself out there to the Geelong Advertiser. I had a lady, Mandy Squires, that wanted to do a bit of a story, and I put myself out there, and it's like life of riddled with like a breaking scene of Breaking Bad and this kind of stuff. And I had a lot of people write on Facebook, once a junkie, always a junkie, and it put me back a fair bit. But I knew that I was doing it because I wanted to create hope for others. And I actually said to her, can you put in here that I want to put my own that I want to start my own center, And she's like, oh well, I won't put that pressure on you just yet, but I made a vision board, and I put everything, all of my goals up there on the vision board, and I've still got the vision board in my mum and dad's house. And I look back at it now, and all the things that I put up there, have started to come to fruition, and I just believe.
So that's a big part of why you're here, right?
Correct.
You're talking about putting out that hope and showing people that you can turn your life around and you can do better, and that's a big part of why you're here. And a big part of why you turn your life around is because you started to follow something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And like you said, your vibe attracts the tribe.
Yeah, exactly. And, and like I said, I've still got a long way to go. I've still got, some people and some things that I'm not sure if you've seen the show that My Name is Earl. He's a guy that done a million bad things back in his day, but, he wins some cash and he wants to fix things, and I sort of feel a little bit like Earl, like there's certain things that, and there's certain people that, that I still have, that I still have some things to make right, but it's something that I tend, that I will do, but I couldn't do those things without me being right, and I'm really lucky that I've have some really great mentors around me. I'm lucky that I've got people who have genuinely believed, in my vision, and like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe, and I believe that the universe has brought us to where we are now. I've gone from having myself running 3 sessions a week to 16 staff. We've got a forensic psychologist. We're running about 25 sessions a week. And
now we're starting to talk about your tribe.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm really blessed with great employees, because
I think that's also a reflection on your judgment of character. You do a pretty good job of, I think in the past in workplaces that I've been in, people spend too much time in the formalities of recruitment. There's certain boxes they have to tick. But I think a big part of what you do is judge a person on the way you read them, and you trust your instincts, and your instincts are very good.
Well, I've been around enough. I've been around enough people that
dodgy fuckers.
Yeah, I've been around enough people to
You can sniff them out, huh?
Well, yeah, I think I'm a pretty good judge of character these days. But yeah, like I said, I just tried to get people into the organisation who I believe can make an impact to the people.
So who's your favourite employee? And just keep in mind, we've actually got one of our co-workers, Dion, sitting over here in the corner. So Kane's under pressure here.
Look. You put me in a...
No, you don't have to answer. It's okay.
Yeah, well...
but it's obviously me,
but at the end of the day, bro, until the others have me on their podcast.
I've got it now. I'm number one.
You're not the favourite, but you've definitely put your nose in front. Yeah. So we've.
So can we talk about pay rise then?
Yeah, look, mate, come and see me after the show. Yeah, no, we've got a really good crew. Like I said,
we do. It's the best job in the world.
It's a great job, yeah, and being able to have.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Kane, but going back to what we do from a functional perspective, as a support worker, it's my job to, I guess, essentially do whatever the client desires. You help to enable their life, and our access points, as Kane mentioned earlier, are mental health, addiction support, and reintegration. And so it's, I guess what I do is play golf twice a week with one of my clients because he wanted to play golf, and I help support him to do that. And it's a really enjoyable job. It's a healthy lifestyle, and through where does a lot of the funding come from? NDIS.
Philanthropic. So we're a fully tax deductible charity.
Yeah.
We've got and that's philanthropic is our main one.
Yeah.
But just by chance we've started to pick up, a lot of participants through the NDIS who have sort of fallen through the cracks, I suppose. They're either too drug affected or they're too violent, and or they've had undiagnosed cognitive impairments that have are just starting to get diagnosed later in life, and they've found themselves in prison just for not having any insight into themselves, and being vulnerable, and and making poor choices based on pretty much all they had.
So people can understand, like, if John Citizen was about to, if there's funding out there, like I wanted to explain to people how like the NDIS helps some of our clients gain access to funding. Does some funding come from corrections as well?
Yes, yeah. So we've got we have other partnerships, with other organisations that work as a part of the Department of Justice, that also filter money through to the other organisations, which then eventually makes its way to us to support people. We've got the program, the New Directions program, which is run by somebody that's actually had their own challenges, and is now like one of the best role models for anybody coming out of prison. Somebody that can have Reiki,
so for someone
Reiki
out
master,
there
PT, nutrition,
master, boxing trainer,
bachelor of everything. So we're
Hemsworth wannabe.
Yeah, we're really lucky. We're really lucky to have.
We're talking about Dion, by the way, who's sitting behind us over here. But so for people out there who like, there's probably I want to explain how there's support and there's help and there's funding out there for anyone who's struggling, or anyone who's really going through it, or has some really significant challenges that they're facing. There's ways that you can reach out for help, and that you can be assessed upon your living conditions and your situation, and you can get access to some really amazing, what's the word? Support networks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, I believe, and I'm a firm believer that everybody, deserves the right to the level of support that they need, and unfortunately, because of the way that the system works, a lot of people sort of get, fall to the wayside and don't get that kind of support, and the reason that I set it up is this program is for people who genuinely want help, that, that don't have, the resources to be able to pay for some of the better stuff. It started as a free program, and, we've helped roughly, we've had about 200
that's the other thing too.
Odd participants come through in nearly 5 years.
Our group programs are free, yeah?
Yeah.
So anyone can come along.
That's right. So it doesn't matter whether you've got, any funding attached to you. If you're looking for support and you are struggling, you can come down. You can join in the cooking. You can join in the PT
help
sessions.
Feed the chooks.
You can help feed the chooks that we are gonna get.
We'll
at
get the
some
chook
stage.
We've had the chook pen for months.
2 years. Yeah. I was hoping they would just your vibe attracts your tribe, and some chooks were just going to make their own way down there.
Couple of chickens roll in.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, but I'm still hoping the universe will provide at some stage.
Hey, we'll just manifest that shit, bro.
I've
got some crystals over here. I think it's full moon soon. We'll just manifest some chickens.
As long as it's not the red one, mate, because they'll end up coming cooked. So,
I don't want to talk about the blood moon, Kane. Please.
Sorry, mate.
Did you have to bring that up?
Sorry, mate. I can hook you up with a session for
people that say week. I told you so are not.
I'm not saying I told you so. I just thought you'd listen.
So
being a CEO and the one that's in charge, I thought you'd take my advice. But
here's the thing, right? A few months ago, I did a little sketch on my Instagram, Fat Man Scoob, where I got together some crystals and I thought I'd do a little funny joke where I manifested some things that I wanted in my life.
I did message him beforehand saying, mate, this is a bad idea. I've done a little bit of research
and
with
so
blood
many
moons
other
and
people.
crystals.
And it was a blood moon, which is chaotic energy. I wasn't to know, was I? Anyway, the very next day after the fucking manifestation ceremony, I fell off my bike. I went over the handlebars. I was coming up to this roundabout and I thought the car was going to turn and then they didn't. So I hit my brakes and I went over. But anyway.
And since then it's turned into the real Housewives of Hamlin Heights.
It's happened since then. So my life's been a bit
hectic.
chaotic. Yeah. Moral of the story, don't do a manifestation session in the manifestation station on a blood moon because it's chaotic energy.
Yeah.
But also people told me that Libras are sweet, like on the blood moon. For me, I was embrace the chaos. Let's go, let's roll. But I didn't realize it was going to be such negative chaos.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to be one of those guys that says I told you so. But
you are. But you fucking are, Kane. You are. That's exactly what you're doing. Sitting there going, don't manifest on blood moons, like you would know. Well, what's your rising sign?
Roughly about 5:30 a.m. when the alarm goes off. That's my sign to get up, mate.
Okay, I'm a Libra sun.
Or the kids screaming at about 5 a.m. So yeah, it's one of the two, the alarm or the kids. Yeah, that's my sign to get up.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so how do you find the time to be a dad and be a CEO and be a support and a boss and all the other things in between?
It's something I've really struggled with, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon you have. You've been pretty strung out lately, haven't you?
I've been very strung out. It's
you need to drink more of these amaretto sours that I made for you.
I've gone from having myself to look after to a partner, a stepchild, 2 baby daughters,
a couple of irresponsible employees,
16 staff, and roughly about 60 clients. So it's been a massive, 2 years. And
where do I rank in the ladder of employees that give you the most headaches?
You were the worst. I'm every Monday having to call to put your timesheet in, but
come on, man! I'm not good with the paper admin stuff.
I know he obviously doesn't want to get paid, but
I'm just good at hanging out with people.
It's a fine balance, and it's something that I definitely need to get better at. And to be honest, I'm lucky now that I've got good people that I can start to delegate. I've been a bad delegator because it has been my baby. I thought, if I'm going to...
Bit of a control freak.
Yeah, well, I thought if I fuck it up, it's my problem. But if somebody else fucks it up, I'll completely lose it. But I've got better at letting people fuck it up. And
learning from our mistakes.
It's been really good. I've been able to get some really good people around and be able to employ some some people that I've been able to really rely on, and like I said, the guys who started with me as trainees that have developed themselves, we're in a really, really healthy position as an organisation, which is now given me an opportunity to spend some time, some quality time with my family. Like, this morning I was able to take my daughter to dancing. She's got her dance concert tomorrow. She's only 2.
Dance better than you?
No, I'm the best dancer in
Oh,
the family.
really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
she's still got a fair way to go.
Yeah.
I'm also the best dancer.
Were you
at
the
the Power
dance
and You
instructor
project.
at dance training?
Yeah, no, I actually had to join her this morning. She was a little bit hesitant in getting down, so I was down on the floor and I was up and I was dancing like
Getting
a
low?
kangaroo. I was getting low,
Little John
yeah,
style?
yeah. So no,
Okay.
she
The
loved
window
it.
to the wall.
And at the end of the day, mate, it's whatever for kids. You do whatever you can to make them feel
Absolutely.
comfortable. So no, I've got to really.
You're not going to pressure them to play tennis or basketball or something like that, are you?
Nah, soccer. That's where the cash is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
somewhere
good.
where it's cash.
Yeah.
A doctor of soccer. That,
You're going to be the next Samantha Kerr?
something like that, or the Venus and Serenas. I'm not sure. I've got two girls that are close ages together, so I'll definitely be pressuring.
Well, that could be
to do
doubles
something
partners,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, but no,
It's good to put pressure on them early, I think.
Yeah, well,
The only pressure you should put them on, or put on them, is for them to be themselves.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're
That's,
both.
well, that's my fatherly advice.
Beautiful
Be
little
yourself.
things. I'm really blessed with two beautiful daughters and a
They are
beautiful,
cute,
and
eh?
a beautiful stepson too.
Absolutely.
So I've got a partner that's supportive of of what I do, and without the people.
How could you not be? Imagine she wasn't supportive of it. Kane, I really don't agree with your career choice, mate.
I know.
This is
it'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
This is not what I imagined. I was looking for a real estate agent.
Yeah, this is not what I signed up for. Some days I feel like that. Nah, but it's all a part of it. And like I said, me being able to to give back and be able to pass on where things failed for me onto others, so others don't make the same mistakes, is something that I want to continue to do. It's something I'm extremely proud of now. I just want Geelong to have the best support service to offer.
Well, that's one of the main things about what you do, what you've created, and what we do on a daily basis is the focus. Like priority number one is help, like helping people.
Hope,
too. And I think way back when you and I sat down at Folklore, major sponsor, what's up, for lunch, and you were discussing employment with me, I just really identified with your brand of helping people, because something that I've noticed in the past from a small amount of volunteer work and even work, like just noticing other people in certain industries where you're helping, even to a certain extent, like emergency services, any industry where you're helping people, there's an element of people where they think that their way of helping is best. But it's not always the best. Sometimes the best way of helping is just asking what's wrong and how can I help?
to actually care.
Yeah, actually care. That's right.
yeah.
And that's
And that's
the
what
number
we
one
do.
priority of the Power and You project, eh?
We actually care, and and that's what I pride the whole service on.
Yeah.
Where I've been there, I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like to feel sad, and I can relate to people who are feeling that way, and I wouldn't want anybody to feel that way. So that's why we genuinely care, and we always go that extra mile to help support others, because you just don't know what's going on in someone else's life. And like I say to everyone, it costs nothing to be kind. So just be kind. Ask, are you okay? And at the end of the day, like, being able to make a difference in somebody's day for the better, there's no better feeling, and that's why this is the best job in the world, because I get to get up every day and do something positive, in someone's life, and
It's a very fulfilling job, isn't it?
it's the best. Yeah,
It's challenging as well.
it's very challenging, and for anybody that wants to get into the community service sector, you're not essentially doing it for the money. You do it because you actually want to make better,
Yeah.
and I want to raise, my family, in the Geelong area, and that's why I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that, with all the growth in the area, Torquay,
It's a
the
good
Ballarat,
area, isn't it?
it's a great area,
I love where I
but
live.
we need to make sure that, we have the resources to be able to deal with everything that's going on, jobs and, bits and pieces, and, the growth, because there are going to be more people that struggle, and it's great now that people are starting to put their hands up and identify that, they aren't doing okay,
Yeah. It's a big thing, isn't it?
it
Being
is.
able to take, it's probably the hardest thing, isn't it? Is that first initial, when you break through that barrier to say, yeah, I need
help.
help. I need a job out here.
Like, I've literally had to yank people out of their cars, like one arm and the thing, just pulling them in. But once we get them in there for the first time and they see you know, the culture in there, and you know how happy everyone is, and you know, and they can, you know, they've got a safe space to be themselves. You know, then it gives them the chance to be able to, you know, continue to take those steps forward. You know, and don't get me wrong, people have our bad days, but the beauty of our program is if you miss one day, it's not the end of the world. They know that they can just roll up one day later, or 1 week later, or 3 months later. You know, and we've got people who come in, and then we won't see them for 2 months, and they'll feel all guilty that they haven't been in, but then they know that they can just walk straight through that door.
It's a great environment.
And their arms will be around each other.
Non-judgmental, inclusive, supportive.
Majority of us have been there, you know. And
absolutely, there's been some times lately in my life where I've been not doing too well, and at work, in a lot of my past jobs, I'm used to people talking behind your back, telling the boss you're 5 minutes late, whatever it might be. You know, trying to knock you down a peg so they can get above you. But I would walk into work at the Power and You project, and people would say, "Are you okay? How you going? You all right? How you been?" For everyone, from all the people, like clients, workmates, everything. It's just such a, you walk in, I don't have like those Sunday blues where you got to, I got to get up for work tomorrow. Like, this sucks. I'm like excited to walk in the door and open the door because everyone's happy, everyone's having fun, everyone's supporting each other. And if you're having a shit day, it's the best place to be because everyone's going to want to bring you up.
And that's a testament to the people, you know, that continue to, you know, help support, you know, the vision that I had, and, you know, and to the participants as well, you know, they genuinely love the place, you know, so they don't want to see the place.
And we love them too. We have a bit of fun with our participants.
We absolutely love them, and, you know, and that's why, you know, it's great to be able to, you know, to be that bright light, you know, or that happy place in their lives as well. And don't get me wrong, you know, we have our moments, you know, but yeah, the joy that you get out of, you know, of doing this job, and yeah, the good days outnumber the bad days, you know, by an absolute mile. And you know, I'm so grateful that I found my purpose in life. For so long, I didn't know who I was or what I was about, but to be able to find my purpose, give back, and you know, help the right people for the right reasons, and you know, something that fills my cup every day as well is, you know, is rolling through those doors, you know. And yeah, like I said, I'm super grateful.
Rolling in those doors and chasing down my timesheet again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's
there's one thing. All I want you to do is stop swearing at the meetings.
I can't.
Every second Thursday we have a staff meeting, and you pretty much started off with fucking righto.
Well, one of my one of my mentors, Professor Joe Graffam, who's a great man.
Professor.
He's a Californian professor that worked at all of the he's just a great man. And he said, "Well, Kane, if this many fucks has got you this far, I could imagine how many fucks are going to get you in another 10 years."
Jesus Christ, Kane. We're going to fuck. Wow. I think we're going to answer it on that. My God, man. No foul language like that. Yeah. Well, listen, brother. You're the best boss in the world. I have the best job in the world. You've established a really beautiful place, a great culture. I appreciate you and what you do. Thanks for coming in and introducing this whole show and this mental health theme. Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Did you have fun? You have fun? Did ya?
Yeah.
Okay. You just look reluctant to say yes.
Cheers, brother.